The biggest drug bust ever in Canada. What happened? The person who's accused is of Indian origin. Like we've been saying for a long time, the drugs that are being distributed, the materials start from Mexico, then wind their way up through United States into Canada. Looks like they were having a massive manufacturing operation for meth as well as fentanyl and many other products in remote British Columbia province. And I'm going to talk to you about all that and more in this slide deck. It is really, really sad because the precursors, which is essentially like the starting materials for fentanyl, are coming from China. They land up in Mexico, and then from there they are being smuggled into various places, not just United States but also into Canada. I remember doing a story about this as to how these things end up in various places, and then sometimes they are even shipped out as if they are normal pieces of mail using US Postal Service or Canada's Postal Service and so on and so forth. It's a very, very dangerous situation. The RCMP thinks that this is a major haul and that this perhaps is one of the biggest hauls ever. So, a small request to all of you to like this video as I walk you through the slide deck as to what happened. Does this ring a death knell for the Khalistani forces? Because many of these people are also transporting illegal drugs as well as human trafficking. Let's see how it goes. Canada busts largest drug super lab. The reason they're calling it super lab is because they have never seen something of this size before. This happened in Falkland, British Columbia. It's associated with another place in Surrey, which is a suburb of Vancouver, Canada. So this is up north of that place, very remote area, and I'll give you a little bit more information about the village. Police seized 54 kilograms of fentanyl, 390 kilograms of meth, significant amounts of precursor chemicals. Remember, precursor is the starting point for some of these products. Everything can be manufactured in a lab. In fact, even in your kitchen. Remember the Breaking Bad series that was so popular in Netflix? I think it came about 8 to 10 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. It was extremely popular. There, the protagonist manufactures crystal meth in his lab, and then the whole series is based on that: drugs, addiction, and distribution, and so on and so forth. After that, many other shows have come, but you get the idea. So these precursor chemicals are coming from China, and China is essentially taking revenge on the United States and Canada in this way. And you know that Vivek Ramaswamy is one of the people who was the presidential candidate, really shown the torch on this, saying that the United States Army should be sent out to clean up all these places from where all these starting points happen, especially in Mexico. Anyway, so you have quantities of cocaine, MDMA, as well as cannabis. Now, a record number of illegal firearms were also seized in the operation. If you are making crystal meth and fentanyl, why do you need illegal firearms? What were they planning? Was there going to be some sort of armed takeover of a place? Who is behind it? Well, I'll tell you who's behind it. I'll give you more details on that. According to RCMP, this lab was fitted with sophisticated equipment designed to produce large quantities of illicit drugs, including fentanyl and meth. And that's why they call it super lab. They were also seeing 89 firearms, including handguns, AR-15 style rifles, and submachine guns. AR is Armalite rifle. This is a company that used to manufacture it. It started in the 1950s, and it's a very popular semi-automatic rifle. And also submachine guns. Submachine guns are, where you can basically fire rounds. There are also found small explosive devices, ammunition, silencers, high-capacity magazines, body armor, and 500,000 Canadian dollars, equivalent to 359,000 US dollars in cash. The main accused, his name is Gaganpreet Randhawa, an Indian origin businessman who was arrested and faces numerous drug and firearms related charges. This bust was considered a major blow to transnational trafficking, and Gillian Wellard, RCMP officer in charge of Federal Policing Pacific Region, highlighted the operation's importance in enhancing safety for Canadians and the international community. The amount of fentanyl that was caught that could have easily created 95 million fatal doses. Remember, viewers, Once somebody gets hooked on fentanyl, in 18 months, they will die. There is no antidote at this point of time. This is how dangerous fentanyl is. The drugs were intended for both Canadian as well as international markets. This bust is a significant setback for transnational organized crime in Canada. It follows another RCMP bust linked to a Mexican cartel affiliated network moving meth and cocaine through US into Canada and other countries. This network has been involved in money laundering and commissioning murders across North America. Ryan Wedding, the alleged leader of the Mexican cartel linked network, remains wanted by both US and Canada. Here is a short list of things under which Randhawa has been charged: importing, exporting controlled substance, possession for the purpose of trafficking, possess a firearm without license or registration, possess non-firearm, knowing unauthorized making or possessing explosives, possession of firearms, etc., contrary to order. So you can see it's a pretty long list of charges for Randhawa. It's a warning sign, like India had suggested, how organized crime here is getting more dangerous and authorities are just barely keeping up. In fact, the Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, had addressed this in a conference. And I'm going to play that video for you now. So please do watch that. And I hope you've already liked this video. Here we go.
Number of gangland people, number of people with organized crime links from Punjab have been made welcome in Canada. We have been telling Canada, saying, look, these are wanted criminals from India. You have given them visas. They have come, many of them in false documentation. And yet you allow them to live there. If you decide to import for political purposes people with very dubious, actually very negative background, there will be issues. They have, in some cases, created problems in their own country as a result of their own policies.
That was Dr. S. Jaishankar, the Minister of External Affairs for India, or the Foreign Minister equivalent for those watching from US and Canada. This super lab is connected to another super lab that was busted in Enderby, British Columbia 3 weeks ago. In the first week of October, RCMP in BC seized over 30 tons of chemicals intended for meth production. Chemical quantities suggest planned use in super labs for producing hundreds of kilograms of meth. RCMP's CLEAR team emphasizes that the seizure removed millions in potential profits from organized crime, focuses on synthetic drug production and prevention of chemical diversion from legitimate sources. Randhawa now faces multiple charges, including drug trafficking and illegal firearm possession. However, he is just one part of the complex network that this whole thing is, and more arrests are expected. This discovery is not only an alarming public safety concern, but also a moment of profound grief and embarrassment for the Sikh and Punjabi diaspora worldwide. It's a warning sign, like India had suggested, how organized crime here is getting more dangerous and authorities are barely keeping up. So there you go, guys. This is where things stand. I hope that this continues and Canada ensures that its citizens as well as the international community remain safe. There is no place for these things. Canada just makes some noises saying that we will not send it, but they continue to send precursor materials. The source is there. That needs to be stopped for good. I don't know what US will have to do. I'm sure something is possible, but then try telling that to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. It is very, very sad because these people knowingly did not do anything about it. For this thing alone, they should be punished and should be voted out. But that's just me saying it. But whether the American voter is listening and he is doing an informed decision or not, we will see on 5th of November. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.